Can you swim?
It's time we said goodbye to an uninvited guest.
He played James Bond in 7 films between 1973 and 1985, and at age 58 was the oldest 007 in A View to a Kill. We are talking about none other than Sir Roger Moore, who is joining us here at the Wall Street Journal at New York's Hudson Terrace. Bounds, Wendy Bounds.
Thank you, Wendy.
I've waited my whole life to say that to a Bond, and now I get to do it. The 23rd installment of the Bond film franchise coming out now, Skyfall. I'm wondering why you think Bond still matters so much to people after all these years.
Well, I don't know whether it's important. It was important to me because I was part of it. But I think it's because what I usually say, people say, why do they go on so long? Because they are telling a fairy story. And so it's the same with Bond, that you're going to have good will beat evil.
Right.
You're going to have a beautiful princess.
Right.
And you're going to have a nasty villain.
Right.
And they'll ride around in extraordinary carriages and have all sorts of wonderful gadgets that Merlin makes for them. I think it's become part of a cult. Sort of men went to see it, then took their sons,
Right.
and now the son grandfathers go to see it.
You were in 7 Bond films. Are you able to point to one as your favorite?
Yes, I enjoyed making The Spy Who Loved Me.
Why was that?
It was the first time I worked with Louis Gilbert, who's a wonderful director. We had the same sort of lunatic sense of humor. It introduced Jaws. It had my good friend Kurt Jürgens as the villain, and sort of very easy to look at Barbara Bach, who I call Barbara Back to Front.
Barbara Back to Front.
But she's got a lot of front.
Hello, he said it, not me. Well, you bring up the Bond girls. Do you have a favorite Bond girl?
Yes, I say in my book, my favorite Bond girl is Christina.
And why was that?
Because it's my wife.
Ah, very smart man. You were so known for the great gadgets when you were Bond. Is there one that you sort of remember most fondly as being the coolest?
Yeah, the magnetic watch.
The magnetic watch.
Unzipped Madeline Smith dress.
Very nice.
But it was nice. It didn't work. And it was nice for the prop man who was underneath her dress, pulling a wire that was attached to the zip.
Looking at Daniel Craig now, how do you think Bond has evolved and changed over the years since you played in Bond?
Well, I saw Skyfall a couple of weeks ago, just a screening with 2 or 3 of us. I just sat there spellbound. I think he is the epitome of Bond. I hope that Daniel stays a long time.
I wonder if being Bond is both a blessing and a curse. I mean, the blessings are pretty obvious. You know, you're very good looking, you get the women, you get the gadgets, you get the fast cars. You know, I'm laying it on thick now, but it's all true. Is there a curse? Is there a downside to being a Bond? I mean, as you age?
No, it's not hard. I'm very grateful that I was able to do it and get away with it for 7 films.
7 films.
But I think when you start looking at the Russians and you say, those chins when you bend your head down, and the leading ladies were looking like my granddaughters. So it was time to hang up.
Time to hang
my
up.
Walter PPK.
So mostly now, what do you do in your free time?
Drinking, gambling.
That's what you're supposed to say.
No, I've now discovered that I missed a great deal by not reading more in my youth.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
Because words become fascinating, and they're so beautiful, so descriptive of what a day is like, or the smell of something.
What was the most exotic place you went to as Bond?
The place I enjoyed being on location, it was Sardinia, where we shot the wet bike for the first time. It had never been seen on the screen. And that was great fun to learn to do and keep dry.
And do you have aside from yourself, do you have a favorite Bond, a favorite actor who played Bond besides you?
Well, I like them all, but obviously Sean always said, you know, was the Bond. But I would love to go back and rewrite, because I finished the book about 3 or 4 months ago. I would love to go back and add a chapter about the best Bond.
Interesting. And rewrite that in your book that just came out.
Yeah.
Which is Bond on Bond.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to put that together?
Oh, overall about 6 to 9 months.
If you had any advice for any of the superhero types, the imitators of Bond out there, on how to keep a successful film franchise going, what would you say?
Save your money.
Save your- Can you say Bond, James Bond, for us?
My name is Bond. James Bond.
I can hear that right now. I think I've got chills. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Wendy, so sweet
Thank
of you.
you.
Thank you.